This is Link, and you are listening to Lynk-On Media Podcast. So that's it for Thor. I don't want to talk or think about that movie again.
Never gonna watch it again.
So Resident Evil. Now, Resident Evil is a video game franchise. It's got like a whole set of novels and story
Great game, by the way.
Great
Great game.
game. I haven't played it in years, but in college, that's what we used to do. Is that and Silent Hill. We'd turn off all the lights and we'd play it, and half of us would be like scared shitless. I was
Of
on
course.
the brave side. What's your history with Resident Evil, the game?
I mean, basically the same. Came out as a horror-ish kind of game, and my genre. I love horror movies, so I was like,
Right.
and I'm a gamer, so let's try this thing out.
Okay. Now, what's
Zombie
your views?
apocalypse. Let's do it.
Yeah, it's I think what it does with the zombie apocalypse, it kind of just takes you and puts you right in the middle of it. And
Yeah, there's no. This is what happened. It's just go ahead.
right, exactly. Uh, I think well, the gameplay was really good. How they would give you like limited ammo, or you'd have to conserve your ammo. You'd have to depending on your decisions, the turnout of the game would reflect that.
Completely different. Yeah.
Yeah, very groundbreaking. It's a game that I would like to play again. I think that there's new versions coming out every
All
once in a while.
every
So
year. Yeah.
yeah, so I'll definitely get back into it when I decide to buy a system again. Um, so the movies came out when I was in film school. It was 2002, I believe, was when the first Resident Evil movie came out, and I liked it. It wasn't like very much how the games were.
The game was, but it was an interesting twist.
Yeah, it was a riff on the games, and it was kind of fun. It was back in those days when
It
they
was
would have like,
new.
yeah, it was, they would do a lot of these video game properties, and a lot of them would be like shit, like Doom or whatever. But then you'd get
Oh
like an Alien
God.
versus Predator, which was kind of, oh wait, it's kind
Yeah,
of
it's cool.
cool, even though when you think about it, it's pretty dumb. And then Resident Evil just took off. Like that first movie, it was bad, but it was bad in a very unique kind of way.
Yeah, because it didn't have those kind of movies as yet, and it was like it's like this new thing, even though it was a horrible movie when you look at it afterwards. But you look at it, it's like, oh, this is interesting. We need more of this. So that's why it took off so well.
Right. And zombie, I don't think the zombie genre made its comeback yet.
No,
When did Dawn of the Dead come out? It was 2004, I believe, when Dawn of the Dead came out. So it
original,
was
yeah,
a, yeah, it was a, well, the Zack Snyder version, not
yeah.
the remake, not the original one. So the zombie genre was sort of creeping back in. You had 28
28 days later,
days later. You had
yeah,
28 days later. You had Walking Dead that was going to be coming up.
yeah, the series.
So zombies were back. Like they were back, and Resident Evil kind of laid the way in. And I think zombies as a villain, or as a entity that's coming to kill you, is such a unique idea. It's such a great idea. Like the idea of people that you know and love being taken over, and something is using their bodies to come and kill
Yeah,
you. You know,
and
it's
and
terrifying.
it's watching somebody you love, and it's like, oh shit, I gotta kill you now, even though
Yeah,
it's not them anymore.
yeah. Like you got to put a bullet in your, in your mom's brain so that she won't come and try to infect
Eat you.
you, or
Yeah.
yeah. It's pretty crazy. Remember that happened in Shaun of the Dead. He had to shoot. I think he had to kill his mom in that movie.
That was a
Spoiler
good.
alert.
That was funny.
That was a
That's a funny
fantastic
movie. That's a
movie.
funny
It's
movie. Yeah.
But you see, that's a movie that knew how to be funny and yet be scary at the same time.
And the interesting thing is, it was a comedy.
Yes, it was primarily a comedy.
But it did not behave like Thor.
Right, exactly. Which didn't know when to take shit seriously.
Exactly.
But let's not get too sidetracked. We gotta get through this. I know you're trying to stall because you don't want to think about this show.
After I wasted a whole day on it, yeah, sure, let's go.
Yeah,
Because I binged watched it, so it was
right.
in one day.
Dude, that was tough. That was tough to sit through. And I've seen a lot of these Resident Evil movies. I stopped watch them after the third one. I think the fourth one was when they try to introduce 3D, and I was like, no, I'm not gonna pay
I think I
hyped
saw
up tickets for that.
all of them. I'm not sure
Can
why
you?
I saw all of them.
Okay, if I tell you the title, can you tell me which place that they come out in? Like if it's the first, second, or third?
Okay, let's try. Give me one.
All right. Resident Evil Retribution.
4.
It's five. All right.
Damn it.
Resident
I knew
Evil.
that one.
Resident Evil Apocalypse.
Let's go with 4.
It's the second one. Okay.
Apocalypse was the second one?
Apocalypse is the second one.
Oh.
Resident Evil Extinction.
So that's number 3.
Okay, good. All right. Resident Evil Resurrections.
So then that's definitely number 4.
That's a trick question. There's no
There's
resurrection.
no resurrection. Well done. I don't even know the names of these movies. I just use Resident Evil.
Okay. This is the hardest one. Resident Evil, the final chapter.
Damn.
Which one's that one?
Seems like number 4, man.
No, it's like 6 of them. So it'd
There's
be number
6?
Yeah,
I thought it was 5. I didn't see 6.
I didn't even know there was a 6. Like I had to look it up, and it was news to me. I was shocked.
Didn't even know. What was her name again? Mila?
Mila Jovovich. Yeah, she was Alice. She's Alice in all of them except for the reboot, which was it was the closest to the video games, and it still sucked.
I didn't see the reboot.
Well, I didn't see it either, but I'm sure it's better than the show.
Well,
meanwhile, we're still stalling, by the way. We still haven't gotten into the show.
Let's go. Let's hit the show. Let's hit the show.
All right. Would you explain the plot to me? Because may have forgotten it.
So there's this guy with 2 kids, and they're in 2 half kids. It's 2 half
I believe
siblings.
They're twins.
Half siblings.
Okay, what's the story
twins.
behind?
They're not twins. They're born on the same day for 2 different women.
Are they test tube babies?
Yes.
Okay, so it's basically about a hardworking father and her no good, horrible kids who deserve a backhand because they talk shit
more than a
to their
backhand.
father. Yeah, and it's terrible. And you know what's the interesting thing about writers now when it comes to writing a family? I find they're never really respectful to the parent. Like I've seen a lot of that lately, and it's weird how.
But I think they were trying to establish the fact that he was always working. So because he was always working, he was never home. So because he was never home, he's never really. I mean, and he even said it. They even he even brought it up while they were in the principal's office after the beating. Remember? Yeah. Right. So he even said it himself. So they brought it up. They brought it up on their own accord. He's busy. He's not the best father because he always works. But so they set it up as that, and they have to remember that the girls are like what 13, 14 years old. So they're like in a little rebellious stage at the moment too.
Yeah, but are girls really that much of dicks? Are they that
I
terrible
would say
when
yes. I
really?
would say yes. Well, it all depends on how they grew up, because he probably would make them do stuff that they didn't want to do, and he was hardly ever there. And then he would talk down to them, maybe, or say you have to do this, because he would talk.
But the show doesn't really illustrate that. Like the from my interpretation of that relationship, the father is tries to be very nice to the kids. He's very accommodating when he's present. The only thing he's not good at is just being there for you know for his kids. But
Them.
he never really like for the older the Jade, for her to act that way. The father must have done something. Like you can't just go off like that, like how she does. I just don't see it does, But anyways, it just
Seem
means she's
it does seem a little extreme.
it was a bit
Mhm.
extreme, I thought.
But the home is broken, so there was like it's like a reflection of the broken home.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I'll give it that. But God, she's terrible. Like she's such a terrible
They've
person. And this is your lead character. This is the star of the show.
she's, she's
She's young version, but there's the older version, and already I don't
terrible. She's
like you.
terrible as well.
Who's worse, young Jade or old Jade?
That's tough.
I'd say old Jade.
All
I have a
Jails
reason.
was specifically when like the show was about the last couple of episodes.
Yeah. Remember when she brought on that like
The
she went
zombie,
on a raft
she
and got a
and got a
zombie and
zombie
brought
and
it
brought it back
onto the boat
without getting permission first. And I'm like,
without
all you
getting
had to do was just get permission. What was the big deal? You didn't want to wait. Why didn't you want to wait? Because you thought you had the solution and you wanted to be right.
yeah, it's hubris. It's you know, she's written like that, but yet she's not held accountable for her actions. She just, well, I was right, so
Boom.
whatever.
Yeah, they did nothing to her. They held
That's
her
what I
inside the room, and that was it.
and I hate that. I so hate that.
I was
And
I was
why would you bring your daughter into the lab when you have a zombie
but
tied to the wall?
she brought the daughter in.
The
Oh, the
daughter
daughter came
came
to check
in,
her. Yeah.
but I would have kicked the daughter out. I've been like, get the fuck out of this lab because this is a zombie.
No, but don't forget, she did to herself. She had the hit, and she had the zombie tied down. So she assumed, I'm in control.
Okay, that's another thing. Couldn't she found like stronger twine or rope or something like that to keep the zombie in? It
Yeah. Plot
like
convenience.
this the zombie got out of those binds so easy. It's like you can't
You
find
swear she's
good
never held down
ropes.
a zombie before.
And this is her business. This is what she does. She
Yeah.
should know better.
Yeah.
And that's another thing. The entire show, it comes from the Jurassic World
They should know better.
script writing of they should be smarter than this.
Especially the first episode
What
where they
happens?
went in. That was with the not Jade, but the sister.
The
Um
sister wanted to free the dog.
Not a dog, but she saw the rabbits, and they
The
thought
rabbits,
automatically
yes.
she thought automatically that they were doing testing on rabbits, because she went to visit her father, and she just saw the rabbits going downstairs. Instead of just asking her father, okay, maybe y'all don't have that kind of relationship, fine. You use his key card, break into to a secret facility that
Right? Yeah. Uh-huh.
that y'all supposed to know is a secret facility, because I'm sure he's told you this before, that his work is very important and it's a secret that he can't
Yep.
tell you what it is, right? You know this. Plus, added to the fact, he just came out from the principal's office telling the bully's father that I'm the only person that can do what I do. So if anything, I can get rid of you. Right? You just hear that, but you don't care about that because you thought that they were doing testing on rabbits. So you have to set them free. You have to go get some evidence against the company that your father is working for. You have to
Yeah.
get evidence.
So she completely missed the entire gravity of her
Anything.
father's work,
Yeah.
and then she jumps to conclusions about them doing testing on animals. She's just like, oh, but I'm vegan, so I got to do something
Yeah, I
about
gotta
this,
save the
about these
animals.
animals. I got to save
Yeah.
animals. It was a trigger in her mind, and she didn't think to ask or to,
Oh, it's
come
just
to
like I
any
gotta do.
conclusion.
I have to do. But it was
And then this,
weird for her to do because she's not really a doer. They set her up as not really a doer because if you check it out, they were setting her up as all right, a bully is facing and all she could
yeah,
tell was sorry, my fault. Let's shake hands. She wasn't ready to address it. And it was her sister is the one that used to, you know. So I guess the sister was needed to give that added push to let's go do it.
it kind of makes it even worse because that's not even in her character for her to make that decision, for her to actually go out and want to do that.
Yeah.
So she does it, and she gets I kind of was doing laundry at this point. So so she gets bitten by the dog somehow.
Yes.
It's
By
just
Jade.
stupid. Yeah, stupid decisions that leads to her getting infected, and that is
So
the whole
here's
crux of it.
here's what yeah. So here's what bothered me about that. That decision that night. So basically, the decision that the father came back, he said, all right, I'm gonna take the blame for you. But he didn't really tell them that. But what all right, so let me backtrack a little. What upsets me is that a dog bit them, well, bit her. The girls have no sense of what really happened. Yeah, they're scared and everything, but they don't have the understand the magnitude of what happened. Like
Mm.
they broke into a facility, the
Very
alarms
easily,
went
though.
off.
There was no security. There, yeah, there were alarms, but
No,
how
there
many
wasn't
security
security,
guards were
but
there?
he was off. He wasn't off. He was slacking off, or so, whatever the case may be.
What was he doing? He
I
was
don't know
jerking off
this
somewhere. Like, what the
probably. And even after all, the father said, "You need to get away from here. I'm going to take the." Well, he didn't necessarily say, "I'm going to take the blame," but he took the
yeah.
blame, and they still
Mm.
didn't have any gratitude to the fact that, well, he's taking the blame for something that we did.
Yeah.
He's not even punishing us. And then it was like, why don't we go to the hospital? We need to go to the hospital because she's getting sick. No, we can't because what we did was illegal.
He's consistently a good father, and good fathers are hard
Consistently.
to come by in pop culture. There's always a bad father. Bad father is like one of the biggest cliches of
I
all
mean,
time. Yes, there's a lot of bad fathers out there,
right.
but my God, like this guy is a very good father. He tries to
The characters were generic though, by the way, to be fair.
absolutely. Oh yeah, absolutely. Like and that is sort of the thing. Who goes into Resident Evil for this shit? For
Nobody.
two
I, I
girls.
I think they wanted to have a different angle, as in let's show it from like let's show it like the human side. They're living a nice life. We're in high school. It's an everyday life kind of thing, and then boom, your whole life goes out of haywire.
And on paper, that could work. On
Yes,
paper.
if done right
Yeah,
with a good script.
right. I mean, there's actually I can't remember if there were any movies like that, but the story of coming to this tech company, and then you're in this tech sort of neighborhood, and then you don't know what they're working on, and then it becomes this thing.
Right.
That's a good story, and you
They
can
could have done
really.
that.
But the problem was you have these two timelines, which I think it's such a stupid idea, them doing it like
That
that.
was split evenly.
Yeah, and it doesn't really correlate.
They don't.
Like for example, Lost. When a character would be going through a situation, it's like, oh, this reminds me of this one
Yeah.
time.
Yes. That would make sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
So
none of it made any sense, and that made it seem like they were dragging it out longer. So there
yes.
was
Oh,
yes,
absolutely.
because to be fair, The incident happened when it was the first episode, I think.
Which incident?
The dog bite.
Second episode, I believe. Yeah.
Okay, so it happened then, and then it took another 2 to 3 episodes for anything else to happen. There was so that whole action, nothing. There were no consequences between that. That was dragged out completely.
Well, that was my sort of issue with it. She just went back to school. Like she got bit, and then she just went back to life. Like we didn't need any of that stuff with the boyfriend. We didn't need anything in that skater park. We needed to get to the point where shit's about to happen, and you could take 2 episodes to do that. You could take 1 episode to do that.
True.
You don't need to follow these girls and this whole thing. I just thought it was so drawn out. Which storyline do you think was the worst or better? Like,
Probably the dad, the best one. This one was his storyline is the most interesting because of all the clones.
right. Actually, I got quite a lot of enjoyment from that.
Yeah.
Remember the
Okay.
scene I sent you where
Yeah, yeah.
Wexler came back with the real
As Blade.
Wexler
Yeah,
as
as
Blade.
Blade.
Oh my God. What were they thinking? What were they thinking?
I don't think they were thinking.
I mean, were the writers around when Blade was coming out? Like, didn't they think like, if we put Wexler, if we put a black actor in Wexler's clothes, wouldn't that remind us of something else?
A little bit, just a little bit.
It's
No,
man, I died.
they even gave him hair.
laughing,
They
man.
even gave him the hair.
They gave him the hair. Oh my God, why did they do that? And
I
that
thought they
it
would have
looked like
left him bald.
they should
If
have.
they left him bald, it'd be like, all right, cool, whatever, you know. But they gave
But
him
then
the
he,
hair as well.
but then he would have looked like Shaft, like Sam Jackson
Mm,
Shaft.
that's a good point. That's a valid
You
point.
can't put a black guy in a
That's a-
coat and
that's
not
a valid
think of
point.
either Shaft or Blade.
Yeah, that's a valid point.
So I enjoyed that. When the clones, when Bert, that was the other clone, when he
Yeah.
showed up, I enjoyed all of that stuff. That was
Yeah,
great.
that was
for
good.
me.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Oh,
Yeah,
the best, like one of the best parts. Remember when they were putting it together, like, and I think that was like from the game because Wessler from the game used to have like clues to figure out how to get something. So that felt more like Resident Evil. So that was fun because the girls were trying to figure. Remember when they were trying to get the survival back, and he left all the clues for them.
right. Yeah.
That was
And
fun. That was fun.
wasn't there a piano sequence
Yeah,
in the
the
game?
piano sequence and
Right. That's
yeah,
okay.
that
So
that was all part of like the game sense. This it was like, all right, cool. So this is where this could work. This could work. This is cool. This is from the game. So they had those pieces, and then that was it's not even in the forefront. It was like just thrown in there because all right, look, you have a piece of the game to work with. This should make y'all happy.
yeah, it's like, look, guys, I know you guys want to make a story about two girls trying to, sisterly love and all that, but we need to put some stuff in the game in this. This is a Resident Evil property. We got to do that.
You got to do something.
We got to do something in there. I actually think the younger storyline is probably better because it actually goes somewhere where the older Jade storyline was just so generic, and I
But
just
it
didn't
was
care about anything.
a typical zombie apocalypse. Typical. There was
Yeah.
nothing outstanding, nothing to talk about,
It was like any other,
and it was
zombie
utterly
stuff.
boring and generic. I like the actress.
Yeah, her name is Ella Balinska. She's actually a pretty good actress. I think she would do good in something, maybe like a Shonda Rhimes show or something like that.
Oh wow,
I mean, she's got a toughness to her, very beautiful.
yeah, she
But
was good in Charlie's Angels.
I didn't see that.
Oh, you don't need to.
Okay, fair enough. You see, that's
I'm
the thing.
missing it.
She needs to be in better stuff.
So also, what upset me with these kids, right? So they wanted to know who they were. They broke into the lab. You remember that? Into his
Yeah.
lab. After they found all the clues to find out how to get into the lab right? So they broke to the lab.
I remember this. This shit is so funny. All right, explain it.
You find all these little things. If you see your blood, you see your sister's blood. All right. Oh my God, what is he? What is he doing with our blood? You know your father's a scientist, right?
Yeah.
So why are you so sprung out about the fact that he has your blood? Maybe he's just checking to see if you're okay. I mean, that's just me. That's the first thing I'm not thinking like, oh my God, he's stealing our blood to do something with it. You know he's a scientist. So he could just be legit just checking on you to see what's going on. Anyway,
I mean,
it's America.
it's kind of weird, but okay. But well, yeah.
No, but he's a scientist. I mean, I would ask questions like, yo, why am I blood? I don't be like, oh my God, he has my blood, or what is he doing with that?
Yeah, just go up and ask him.
Yeah.
You could just do that.
All right. And then my girl says she needs evidence. Evidence. Pulls out the hard drive.
Yeah.
Because I need evidence of this shit.
Okay.
And then the place goes on fire.
Yeah. That was funny. That was so funny. Yo, they try to run out of the place. The place locked up. I'm like, oh, these bitches gonna die. I was
like,
dying of laughter, man.
Me too. Me too.
I was.
But what pissed me off the most is when they finally found out that he altered their DNA.
Yes.
They were upset. Like, why? What are you upset about? What is there to be upset about? He made you better.
I mean, it's kind of weird that your dad's fucking with your blood, man. Like
but he made you better.
There's an ethical conversation to have there.
Yes, but in the grand scheme of things, he made you better.
All right, fair enough. Is that why the T virus didn't affect her? It didn't affect
so.
Billy?
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, there needed to be a reason for that because I don't
think
think
that was one of the reasons why.
Okay, well, I'll take that. I guess
they didn't test it on Jade though.
No, but fuck Jade. She's an idiot. She's a terrible person.
Billy is an idiot too, but Jade is horrible. Yeah,
Jade is overt. Like she is overt annoying.
Yes,
like she is the worst. I hate her.
She's her daughter. She's her father's child.
Yeah, I don't. Oh yeah, for sure. Like that is a Wexler right there. Am I saying it right? Wexler.
I think so. Wesker.
It's Wesker. It's Wesker. Man, those fans are gonna eat me up because of that.
Kill you.
They're gonna kill me for that. So, anyways, yeah, no issues with the actresses. I think they do what the best they can with this, but I just really hate the characters in this. I think they make very stupid decisions. They're very annoying. Lance Reddick is he's definitely the best actor on the show, and it's completely boring when he's not on screen.
Yes, but why was he there? Why was he needed?
Because they need a name. They need somebody in there to sell this piece of shit. They don't have Mila Jovovich.
True. I mean, it just felt dead. Like everything in the whole series was just like dead. There was nothing of substance there.
A lot of people are saying that this is a CW version of Resident Evil, and it's pretty spot on. I mean, from the
didn't think about that.
From the music choices, the needle drops. They have a lot of those remixes of songs that are very slow and sung by a girl band, and it's these really bad covers of popular songs, and then they sort of put them in TV shows like Grey's Anatomy and that kind of thing. And that annoyed me. Like the music in this is dreadful. It just takes you right out of it.
What took me out of it was the script. Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's hard to get into it. The visual effects aren't as bad as
it's not bad. It's pretty good.
the giant caterpillar in the first episode. I thought oh
Oh,
shit was
that was nice.
that looked really good.
Yeah, it
I was
was
really
nice.
surprised by that.
Yeah, that
Uh,
was good.
but I'm seeing there's just a lot of these properties that are being bought up and uh they're making new versions of them, and they all seem very cheap. They all seem very factory made, and none of them uh feel very genuine. Like I saw the first two episodes of Halo, and I kind of got out of it. Like I couldn't finish it
I didn't
because it
even start it
just
as yet.
yeah. I mean, there's just nothing there. And I heard online where the story goes,
Right.
and I'm like, I think Master Chief, like you see his ass a lot. There's a
Mm,
lot of that, a lot of ass shot.
joyous.
He takes off his helmet and everything. No, if they showed his ass and kept the helmet on, I think I'd be okay with it. I'd be
Are we
like,
okay with that?
well, hey,
Yeah, that's
all right.
good.
But no,
Staying
man,
true to form.
he's from the first episode. He took off his helmet and he was like, "I'm a guy."
Seriously?
Yes, he took it off for so a girl could trust him or something like that. And they always pair up these guys with a girl. You ever notice
A
that?
love
Like a young
interest?
girl,
A
not a
young
love
love
interest,
interest?
not a love interest of
Oh,
like a young
a young
like a
child.
lone
Okay.
cub girl. It's
Yeah,
always
yeah, okay.
it's
And you gotta protect her.
Logan. Yes, they have to protect her, and she's usually the key to everything. There's
Okay. That's true.
Logan, Obi-Wan, who else?
Thor.
Thor. That turned out like that. Doctor
Yeah.
Strange. He has to take care of this America Chavez who came out of
Yeah.
nowhere, and
Yeah.
so it's starting to be a cliche now where you got to pair up these heroes with a little
The little
girl, and the
girl.
little girl has to, like, tell him how much of a shit he is and all of
Yeah,
that, and
so he
it's
could
so
be a better
weird.
person.
And he has to be a better person, right? Exactly. So, and in the moment of need where he needs to be a better man, he thinks about the little girl,
Yeah.
which makes it,
Character
not weird at
development.
all. Character development, right? Exactly.
Mhm.
So yeah, but I think Master Chief like dies in the last episode, and then
Great.
Cortana, the computer program, takes his
Takes over.
body, and now she's Master Chief.
Okay. Cool. Whatever works.
No, it doesn't work. What is?
Whatever works with them. I don't know what they're doing. They know how to make the millions of dollars. We just sit here and talk about it.
Well, I mean, they're giving me content, so that's something. That's something. I need something to do.
Yeah, fair enough.
So watch these terrible shows.
Man, Resident Evil was horrible. Okay.
It's the worst Resident Evil thing, I think.
And even the plot twist was not very plot twistable.
What was the plot twist? Tell us.
I can't remember what the plot twist was. What was the
Was it
plot
that
twist?
Billy was Umbrella now? Like she took
Oh
over
yeah, she's running
the
Umbrella. Yeah,
yeah,
they made the
which
lady into a robot or something like that.
some bullshit. I think they took over her mind or something like that. And then they
Yeah,
make her dance to a popular song.
that was
What am I watching?
that was interesting.
What am I watching? What am
I
I
was like,
watching? Whose
why
idea was that?
is why? All I said was why. All I could say was why, because it didn't make any sense. And I was like, okay, what's happening here? She just put on a number to like thing, and then you realize she's being controlled. She's being mind controlled. She's still the face of the company,
Yeah.
but Billy is running her as the face of the company because she doesn't want to be in the spotlight.
There's no real lead up to that. It's like it happened. They revealed that, and I'm like,
And that was it.
okay, well, what am I supposed to do with that information?
Nothing.
So Billy's the bad guy,
Yes. Shoots her sister because her sister had is special.
right?
Because that's what they wanted her in the first place, because she's special, to bring her back
Right.
in so they could do experiments, I guess. I don't know. Or maybe have, something.
They
It's
always
not
do an
really fully
experiment.
known. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I mean, I don't care. I really don't. I
and then
just
she find out that her sister has a daughter. So the fact that she can have a daughter means that she's more special than. Oh no, she made the monster stop. So that's how she knows she was powerful. The big monster stopped.
That's right.
So that's how she
That
knows she had some kind of power.
all right. Three, two, one. And we're back. So, what last so the episode that we were talking about was when the when they were
Last,
when they found out that the father had got their blood, and then they started confronting him.
yeah, they
And I think that
confronted him.
I don't like how it bounces from the past to the present.
I don't mind the bouncing, but I feel like the way they did it made the series drag, or it killed any momentum that it had already built up. Like, let's say we were in the past and like a
Right.
nice little momentum building up, and then all of a sudden just cut straight into and then the future had nothing to do with what was happening in the past. It was just a completely different story. So it's like you're watching two different stories. So like any momentum that was built up was just cut right there
Yeah,
to start the
completely
new
kills it.
momentum. Yeah, and it just completely killed it. And you're like, okay, what? Okay. Oh, so that's what we're doing now. Okay, so what happened to? Oh, so what happened to Billy and Jade from before? Okay, I guess I watch this piece to. I gotta watch this piece to get through and see what happened to Billy and Jade. So did Billy get okay? And then they played this "Is Billy Alive" game for like the whole series.
Yeah. I knew
I guess
she
it was to
I
set
kind
up
of
to set her up though.
figured that she would have been alive, maybe at the end of the series, like a stinger or some kind of thing like that
Yeah, I
for
thought I
season
thought
two.
yeah.
And I thought the actress for Billy was particularly not good. She
The
was
young one or the old one?
the older one. The
Okay.
younger one is a good actress. The older one, not so much.
Just
It
about kind of
like it felt
was
like
flat.
yeah, very flat. Like it she felt like a CW
Oh,
day player or
CW.
something like that.
Gen- generic
Very
sister.
generic. Yeah, like a villain of the week on Supergirl or something like that.
That's Supergirl.
Yeah.
Supergirl has
Speaking
better
of
villains.
yeah, I shouldn't talk shit on Supergirl. It's definitely better than this. As cheap as that show is from time to time, I think it's a lot better than this.
And I hate those
Um,
shows.
oh man, they should really stop. I think they should stop all of those DC shows, and start really focusing their talent on building up that brand, because that brand has taken
I
a
hate.
real hit. It's taken, and I used to watch Flash and Arrow back in the day,
Me
and those
too.
shows they really lost their way, man. Like they,
The first season of Arrow was good.
particularly like Arrow, the first two seasth, I was
They were
hooked,
very good.
and this was coming off of uh, like super Smallville. Smallville was the big show at the
Mhm.
time, and it finished probably a year or so before Arrow started up. And my brother was the one who told me about Arrow, and he was like, "Yeah, man, Arrow's good." And I'm like, "What are you telling me?" Like, I don't watch those shows anymore. And then I got into it, and then they were coming up with the Flash, and they got the Flash from the '90s to come back, and I'm like,
Yep.
I used to watch that show as a kid, man. That's crazy. So I was on the Flash. The Flash was my shit for, I would say, the first like 2-3 seasons, and then it just kind of got really repetitive. Where okay, so it's another speedster, it's another Barry always needs to have some type of pep talk to get anything done,
Always
and
anything.
he never figures anything out by himself. Like he's a forensic
Never.
officer. He knows things, but he never utilizes the intelligence. It's another thing. It's
Makes no
characters
sense.
who should know. Characters who should know better.
The interesting thing is Barry is supposed to be one of the smartest one of the smartest superheroes in the DC universe
Right, exactly.
because his brain works a million times faster than I was.
A lot faster. So he was a smart guy before, but now that intellect is enhanced.
Is exactly. But
There
clearly
are
not.
times, yeah, there are times when the plot needs it,
He's
he
smart.
will do something smart. But when
Yeah,
you
because
have to,
it's plot driven because it's like you want to get everybody involved
yeah,
and and have as many characters so you can have like your little mini soap opera.
the thing about the Flash is that he's too powered, like he's overpowered. He's
Yes.
definitely OP because he's basically the fastest guy ever, and it's he'll make easy work of a guy with a freeze gun.
Mhm.
Like, what does Captain Cold have that can stop the Flash unless he tricks him and then shoots him because the Cold could, you know, slow him down.
Down.
But the Flash could just shake it off. Like, he got super
Yeah.
speed, man. Just shake it.
Done.
Shake the frost off your feet and run
Yeah.
after him. He's
Make the
just
heat.
around the corner.
Every time I look, they have a new speedster.
Another one. There was Godspeed. There was Salvatore. There was the one of the interesting villains that they had was Gorilla Grodd,
Right. Yeah, they did have.
and the Thinker.
Yes.
But I didn't finish that season, so I don't know if that worked out.
I didn't even watch it.
But
I stopped watching it a long time ago.
there's not a lot you can do with that show. It's been on for 8 seasons.
I mean, at least it's not as bad as
Batwoman,
no. Oh, that was I don't even that doesn't count.
right, okay.
Teen as Titans.
I liked the first season. The second season was dreadful.
Man, everything after the first season was dreadful.
Yeah. The first season, I was like,
It could
this
work.
looks like it's going somewhere. And then the second scene happened.
And
I
then
was
the
like, oh
third one was how
no.
many seasons did they have? 2 or 3?
I don't remember. I stopped after season 2. So if there is a third season, I didn't see it.
Which is the one where they rushed in Red Hood. Oh, you didn't see that one.
No.
Okay, so that's probably season 3.
Yeah. What they did with the
They
second season.
rushed a lot of stories into like there was no pace, no actual progression. It was just like throwing these guys in, just throw them. Oh, okay, let's just make Jason crazy now.
Yeah.
All right, we'll make him Red Hood. Like
That was the
what?
third season. That was the third season. Because I think
it was
Joker
atrocious.
because Joker kills him, right? Like Joker beats him in that one, right?
Yes,
Okay. So they
it was
brought
atrocious.
I don't think they should do more Jokers. I think we have enough Jokers. We need to put a hold on all of these Jokers. There's way too many Jokers now. There's Jared Leto Joker. There's Joaquin Phoenix Joker. There's Gotham Joker. There's Teen Titans Joker. There is, I think Mark Hamill's still doing Joker still.
Yes,
We need to tie up these Jokers. There's too many Jokers running around. There's even a Joker in the Batman, and I wish he wasn't there. I When that scene happened, I was like, no, come on, man. Did you really have to?
I mean, it could have just been like I think they just put him in there to tease the crowd.
Yeah, but what are you gonna do? You're gonna do another Dark Knight? Then we're just gonna
No,
compare it to the Dark Knight.
what they should do now is the owl,
The Court of Owls.
the coat of owls. If they
Well,
do
that is
that,
something.
because it's set up technically for something like the coat of owls.
I would be down for that. I would be down for that. Hugo
If you think
Strange.
about how the coat of owls come about, it's
Yeah.
about similar to what the Riddler just did, and because he just did that, the whole place is
Yes.
open now. So it would be
Yes.
perfect for them to just come in.
It would be perfect for that. It would be. But they need to do no more Jokers. Stop with the Jokers.
You don't need Jokers, man.
Batman has so many good villains. They could do Mr. Freeze again. They could do a proper Mr. Freeze. They
Yeah.
can do it.
They could
Just
do a
need-
lot. They could do Poison Ivy.
Sure, they could. I think the good thing about Gotham, a show that I catch every once in a while. I thought Fish Mooney was cool and whatnot. Penguin,
Stop watching.
it had such a good Penguin. Like the actor for Penguin in that show, good
Yeah,
Penguin.
Yeah, he was good.
And the Riddler was actually not bad either. But they did things with the other villains that I thought were kind of compelling. But because it's a show that it's a Batman show without Batman, I kind of lost interest really quickly.
Me too.
I'm done. If you are making a Batman show with Batman characters, Batman should be in it.
Yeah, because you can have
I
the
don't
characters there and then not have the guy to take them out. Like, so
exactly.
what are the characters in there?
The
I guess
only
it's just to
time
show them before, they were there before he came.
Right, exactly. The only time I will accept that there is no Batman in it is Joaquin Phoenix Joker. That's the only
Okay,
one because it's an
that's fair.
outlier. Other than
Right.
that, you need Batman in it. I don't want to see Batwoman. I don't want to see Batgirl unless Batman's in it. I don't want to see these things. Batman is the character. That's who we come to see. That's who we like. Not none of this bullshit where Batman dies or anything
I
like
want Batman
Gotham
Beyond.
Knights or Batman Beyond would be tight. That would be tight. But I I, I don't think there is a fever for it. If they
You
drop
don't,
it,
you
I'd
don't, you
watch
don't
it.
need you don't need to have a FIFA. We could just do it.
I mean, yeah, they could. I mean, they're
The movies don't have to be
I don't
linked.
know.
You could just drop a movie.
They
You don't need to.
could,
You don't need to create a universe like Marvel.
and they really shouldn't because even
That shit
Marvel
is
right
hard.
now, yeah, it's hard. But how Marvel is right now, they are it's waterlogged now. Like there is so much things happening. There's Greek gods, there's Egyptian gods, there's wizards,
Mhm.
there's secret societies. There's so many secret societies that just come out. There's Hydra, there's the Hand, there's
Mhm.
all of these things that are happening, and it's happening all in one
One
little
place,
area.
and you're like,
Uh,
how these people didn't know
and
about these other people
yeah,
before?
exactly. Like a celestial just burst out of the earth, and nobody picked up on this.
Like nobody,
You didn't hear it on the news at No Way
nobody,
Home. Doctor Strange didn't go check it out.
nobody. It's a little
What's
weird.
going on? Like
It's a
that's
little
an
weird.
yeah, it's an Avengers level event, and yet no
It is.
Avengers showed up. It's starting to not make a lot of sense. It's I mean,
I guess
Endgame,
they were off planet.
they were off planet.
That's my explanation. I mean, there's only so much you could do, right? Like you make individual movies for them,
Yeah.
and you bring them together. And the only reason why they normally come together is to fight an extra extraterrestrial.
Yeah, but that's the thing though. If it's too big, if there's a Fantastic Four movie where Galactus shows up and you don't see the Winter Soldier or and those guys show up, you don't see Sam or the Wizards or
Just one
anybody.
person. Yeah.
Yeah, like I think if Wong doesn't show, Wong is the Sorcerer Supreme still.
Yes.
He
So
should be
he's
the one to show up in these things, but instead he's fighting with Abomination in some fighting ring in
that's
Shang-Chi,
funny.
which
Yeah,
makes no like why is that there?
that was funny though.
Uh,
I mean, I like Wong.
I do. I love Wong. One of the best things about Doctor Strange was that I know that Doctor Strange becomes the Sorcerer Supreme at some point. So if they're going to do it in the movies, that means Wong has to die for that to happen. Because I don't think Wong would just give it up to Strange
Well,
just like that.
technically, Strange was the Sorcerer Supreme.
He was, but because he blipped
Because
out,
he blipped out, Wong is
exactly.
right.
But I thought throughout that movie that Wong was going to be killed. I actually felt for that guy. I was like, oh no, man, they're killing everybody. They're killing,
Uh,
Reed Richards and all these
right,
guys.
right, right, right. You do know that movie was supposed to have more murders. It was supposed to be darker.
What,
She was
Doctor
supposed to kill
Doom?
a
Or...
no. It was supposed to Wanda was supposed to kill a lot more people.
Yeah, I think he was supposed to kill Mordo, which would have been terrible because that's a very waste of a Chiwetel Ejiofor. You don't hire Chiwetel Ejiofor and just kill him in the first however minutes of the movie.
Mm.
It's bullshit. He's a good villain. They should
He is.
use him as a good villain. He was
Yeah.
wasted in that movie.
Mm.
It's upsetting. But anyways, let's get back to Resident Evil. That's what we came here. I know we've been sidetracked.
Burn Resident Evil, man. Just burn it to hell.
Yo, remember that? Okay, so after the reveal that, so the kid leaves the boat. There's this whole action sequence that happens where
that you see that part made like this is where like Jade upset me for the whole series. This is where she upset me the most.
right.
If anything goes down, you leave the boat. But what about dad? Oh, what about the guy? I don't care. I need you to leave because she already planned on ahead what was going to happen.
Yeah.
If it doesn't happen, you come back to the room. Where's my daughter? Did you forget what you told her? Like you had this big conversation. You get up and go. Don't matter what it is, just go. And you're
Did
like,
the
well, where
writers
she go?
She was actually listening to the mother. She actually
Yes.
listened to what the mother
She
said.
listened to the mother said.
And because of that, now we're in shit. Now
Yeah. But I guess that's how she was able to find out that she has a power because the big lizard
yeah, you needed a moment
for her
where
to
that
see that.
happens.
Yeah. Because you
Even
would have
though I
never
don't
seen it. You would have never seen it if she just stayed on board.
right. You needed a moment where she would, and yeah, it's a stupid decision, but you needed that character to be at that place at that point in time.
Yep.
So, it's still kind of stupid, but sure, whatever.
Hey, plot.
Oh, remember when the bad guy shot her son in the face?
That was interesting to me. I thought she would try to save him. She didn't care.
She
Look what
didn't
you made me
care.
do. Well,
Right.
I shouldn't say she cared, but she knew what was going to happen. So it didn't make sense saving him if she knew what was going to happen.
Yeah, I kind of figure she didn't even think about the possibility of him
That he could be immune.
that he could be saved.
Yeah.
Because he's not immune. There's no way he. It kind of just showed her apathy and just how her.
I mean, she was giving her wife the pills, man. The unapproved pills.
Yeah, man, that was doping your wife. What's worse, doping your wife or taking your daughter's blood to make sure that your body doesn't degrade itself? Like to save your own life, you're using the blood of your daughter. I would say
doping my wife.
Oh, it's doping your wife for sure. Sure. It's definitely doping your wife.
I mean, it's not like I'm harming my child by taking her blood.
Yeah, I think if he just explained it to
If he did,
I think that was the problem. Like just a little bit of communication could have worked.
That was the whole thing, the communication, because
Yeah,
they talk to him however they want to. Well, not him, but Jade used to talk to him however she wanted to.
yeah. Jade is terrible, man. She's such a. If that was my daughter, I'd get rid of her. I'm like, no, I can't deal with you. I can't deal with
though.
you.
She's perfect. She can learn multiple languages.
She's
brilliant.
Did she teach herself
and stupid at the same time?
Did she teach herself how to be a scientist?
They didn't say per se.
Like she didn't go to school for that, did she?
She didn't go to school, but that's why they say she's special.
But you notice how a lot of these new female characters that are coming out. Now, I have no problem with female characters, but when they just sort of become great with no training, no learning, no nothing, I'm a little suspicious of that. Where all you need to, like, for example, Doctor Strange 2, where Doctor Strange gives America Chavez like a pep talk, like the power is in you this whole time. Just use it, just because you're great. Yeah, you don't need to learn anything.
Isn't that how it always works?
What always worked?
like the pep talk. The pep talk is like, yo, even it doesn't matter if it was male or female, but like the hero doesn't believe in themselves, they can't control their powers. As soon as you give them a little pep talk, it'd be like, you had this, just concentrate. You always had the power was you, and all of a sudden, boom, they concentrate a little, and all of a sudden they know how to control their powers.
Yeah, but you'd have to learn, to get to that point.
It doesn't matter. They the hero never needs to learn anything. You just need a pep talk, and you're good to go.
That is not correct.
That's how it works in the movies, man.
Which movie?
All
Which
movies. All right, so let me see if I can find a movie now that has. Wait, they just need to get a pep talk, and all of a sudden, they could shoot a jumper. They could hit a home run. They could run faster.
but is it they need a pep talk to do something that they've never done before, that they never tried to do before? Is it
All you
that?
gotta do is concentrate. Well, I wouldn't say try to do before. They probably tried and failed because they can't
Oh,
control their power.
well, there you go. It's trial and error. Like if you want to create a character, if you want to create a character moment where in the end he or she is able to use their ability, whatever their ability was, to get that moment, to make the audience be into that moment, you'd want to show at the beginning of the movie, maybe he or she was trying to do that thing, was trying to do that power, but they kept failing, or through trials that this person becomes the person that they are. Like the Karate Kid, where the Karate Kid has to learn, he has to do all of these chores. And then when he's like frustrated, he's like, why do you keep making me do this? You're not teaching me anything. And then Mr. Miyagi's like, oh, yeah, look at this, dodge this. This whole time he was learning how to do what he needed to do. I think Star Wars is kind of like that, where Luke keeps on trying to learn the Force, but then he fails. He tries to learn something else, but then he fails again.
Fails, yeah,
He fails a lot in those movies. And
yeah,
then you
but not all.
compare
Not
that.
all. I'm still trying to figure out like I know there are movies where like a guy has a power, or a girl has a power, and they use it. I mean, they don't use it. It's not like they're trying to use it. They use it, but they can't control it, and they don't know how to control it. And all of a sudden, when they need to, at the end of the movie or close to the end of the movie, they get a pep talk about you can do this. You are the power. The power is, you control the power. The power doesn't control
Right.
you. And miraculously, they
They
find a way
were
to control
able
the
to.
power.
The Matrix, was the Matrix like that? I think, but he was learning throughout the movie about his powers, and then at the end,
Yeah, he had the
he
big realization,
yeah. So you
epiphany.
still you need a lead up to it, is basically my point.
Yes,
Yeah. If you That's why I think Luke Skywalker is a better character than Rey, because Rey never really
did
she,
anything.
yeah, from the top, she was a good fighter, pretty good at the Force.
Mm.
She never had to fail. She never had to fall. She never lost a hand. It's like they're treating her with kids' gloves. They don't give her anything challenging, and that is sort of my problem with characters today, where they just don't have. They're not challenged. You know what I mean?
It's all easy.
Yeah, and it shouldn't be like that, because life is learning and failing, and
And
learning from that
learning and
failure,
failing
and
and
then failing
learning and
again,
failing.
and then
Yeah,
maybe you do something different. You know what I'm saying? So movies should reflect that, and I think the best movies reflect that.
not many of them that reflect that great.
No, of course not. But there's a reason why a lot of people like, a movie like Rocky, and not like a Steven Seagal movie where nobody can touch him.
Even to go. What up, Steven?
Yeah. I mean, no hate towards Steven, but I mean,
No, his movies were just untouchable.
yeah, he never. There was one time he got shot, which was probably his
Only
best
time, yes.
movie.
Yeah,
Uh,
it was a good movie.
one of his, yeah. Was it
Was it good?
Above the Law? I believe that one was called, and then there
Was
was
it
Under Siege
Left for Dead? No,
or Left for Dead. I think that was that one.
it was Left for Dead. I think it was
Yeah,
Left
it
for
was probably Left for Dead. Yeah. So, I mean, any last words on Resident Evil? I don't. I'm kind of blanking
Trash.
out on the show.
Trash.
So yeah, I'd give it a solid 7 out of 10.
What? You being
What?
serious?
Oh wait, no, sorry, wrong. I need to add a zero there. 100, 7 out of 100. It was probably one of the worst shows I've seen for the budget. Even like a bad CW show
Yeah.
has something going for it, but there's just nothing. I don't like any of the characters. I don't like
Absolutely
them.
generic.
Yeah, if it's not generic, it's just annoyingly done.
Plus, they were
The
written
music,
badly.
there's no really good characters in here. I think except for Bert, Lance Reddick really whenever Lance Reddick shows up, the show is great, is watchable. Whenever he's
Yes.
not, it's trash.
No.
There's no other actor on his level, and it's sad, man. Like it's sad that
But
the
he was the
franchise.
whole show. Yeah,
I
nobody
mean,
else on this show. The guy that what was the purpose of the I want to call him like the dog because they sent him to get Jade to come back.
was it the chubby guy?
Yes.
Oh, the fake Jack Black character, the
Yes.
dollar store, the bargain
The
bin Jack
bargain
Black.
bin Jack Black.
Yeah,
Yeah, like he was like a comic relief.
yeah, it wasn't really that funny, but at least there's somebody trying to have fun in the show.
Yeah, I thought he was a cool addition. But whatever. Cast is boring, except for Lance.
Yeah, I really hope they don't make a second season of this.
They plan to.
What more can they do? Oh yeah, they hinted to it.
Yeah.
One of the characters from the game, Ada Wong. Ada Wong is the character.
Yeah.
Well, they're gonna ruin that character. So they're gonna get Ada Wong to come in the next season if there is a season, which I
That's
doubt there will
unlikely.
be. It's
It's
very
unlikely.
unlikely. It's got like a 30 something percent on Rotten Tomatoes, so it's people don't like it. People are saying this is the worst Resident Evil anything they've ever seen, and I'm kind of with them on that. I agree with the critics on this one.
Yo, you know what would have been great for that series? If they did, especially with the two young girls, they started with the young girls. They started off, all right, our father works in this secret place. Yeah, right. Can't talk
Yeah,
about it. But then some stuff start happening at school, and they try to, some different things happening, and at the end of the series, like the cliffhanger was like they found out it was Umbrella. No?
that could have been something. It actually reminds me of a Korean show called All of Us Are Dead. It's a zombie outbreak, but it happens at this school.
Right.
So the students have to like build barricades. Um, they would have to like bash the heads in of their friends who got infected. They have to deal
I feel
with.
like I've seen something like this.
Yeah,
It was on Netflix.
it's on Netflix. Yeah.
Okay, I've seen it. Yeah, yeah, that's the same show. Yeah, that's it. I've seen the whole thing.
Oh, is it? So you like that show?
No, it's good. It's good.
Okay. I'll
It's really
I'll
good.
finish it. I'll definitely
I thought
finish
it
it.
was good. I mean, they had some points where like, where you guys going with this? But I generally find like the Koreans and the Japanese, they tend to like stay more to the source materials if they have
Right.
source material.
Yeah.
Whereas America comes out and I'm like, nah, I don't want to do the source material. I want to do what my artistic side says to do.
I want to make my own, and that is sort of the ongoing problem with a lot of these properties now. In Thor, Love and Thunder, it wasn't about making a good Thor story. It was about what Taika wanted to do with his, you know,
Yeah.
with his vision,
So that's what I see.
and it's really, yeah, it's a disconnect between the audience and the creators, because we want to go in, because the reason we like this is because of how it's portrayed in the source material, maybe the comic, the video game, or whatever. So if you're making these changes, you have to know why you're making these changes for. Is there a story reason why you want to do it? Is it to fit in a particular format, or is it you just decide not to play the game or whatever? Like, for example, with the Halo series, they didn't, they didn't do any research by playing
That
the game or anything like
doesn't
that.
make any sense.
Yeah, because
How is it that you
they
get
just wanted
like,
to do their own thing.
and you don't even get like somebody to consult? Like let's
No.
see if we could keep it on brand a little. Like you get the name of a game. My game is based off of me, and you telling me that you don't even get me to come in and have something like, okay, well, this is what I did with my life. I did not go to ABC school. I went to XYZ.
Yeah. And I'm not saying that it doesn't work at all, because it worked with the Joker. The Joker is not what I read in the comics. It was its own
Right.
thing, and it actually works. But it was somebody with a proper story that, knew how he wanted to tell it, and they did it beautifully, and it was about stuff. This isn't really about anything. You just have a title, and you want to run with it, and it's quite unfortunate. It's content for streaming service, and I think that this is the reason why the streaming bubble is bursting now, because there's
Yeah.
all these properties that are coming out, and nobody's, I mean, I'm sure people didn't finish the show. Like, this
A
is
lot of
not
people
binge
stop.
worthy stuff.
No, no, it's not.
So, but anyways, we have a minute left. Any words you want to end the thing on?
The Resident Evil sucks. Don't watch it.
Yeah. And Thor is,
Equally suckable.
it's a bit better. It's a
That's a
bit better
word.
than this. It's easily suckable. All right. Anyways,
Actually, it is better than Resident Evil.
all right, cool. Well, we're gonna be heading out. Where can they find you?
Like, find me on Instagram, Demigod Chronicles. That's my
All
tag.
right. All right. Thanks, Logs, for coming in.
Appreciate
Um,
it.
we'll do another show next week if you're
Hey man,
available.
I'll be available once I'm available.
All right, great. See you soon.
See you later, guys.
And we are out.